Hi guys, Dorota International, nail artist and educator here, and I've got this e-file from Melodysusie today. We are gonna do a wee unboxing, and of course I will show you how I'm doing a rebalance on my client nails using that e-file. So it is in a nice and pink color. The hand piece is really tiny, which is great. I'm just gonna unbox it at first. So let me just remove that. There we are. So that's actually quite handy because you can use it probably without of cable. We are gonna check it. This is how you would store it. Charger, some beads. We are not gonna use them. Okay, let me plug this in. I'm gonna be probably quite slow today with the things. Okay, so this is how you plug it. I wonder if it comes charged. No, you have to plug it in. It actually is charged in, so this is awesome because you can charge your station and then use it without of charger, but obviously it will give more power just because it isn't like a small portable one. So I'm gonna use the bead and try it on my client nails. Let's switch it off and put my safety bit in. Okay, can I have it? So sanitize my client's hands. There we are, just rub in. And then I'm gonna try it first of all on the low settings, guys. Like, so let's do it maybe on a 20 because I don't know that e-file, so we are gonna go 20 first. And see it if it's gonna cause vibration or how powerful it is. Okay, I can feel it. I can easily go higher. So I have just put it to the maximum speed. And this is much more effective when it's at the maximum speed, especially that I have a glitter encapsulation in here. And with the glitter encapsulation, we need to go deeper. We want to jump from nail to nail because you don't want to produce the heat. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of gel to remove because we've got some clear one which is covering all this glitter which we did it for that client. There was a video of this set as well. What I like about it, it doesn't stop, so even for a more powerful work, like it has enough power to take the product off. As you can see it, I have almost reached the first layer on the nail. I must admit it is a pretty nice and powerful e-file. It let me remove the glitter quite fast, and as I say, like with the glitter encapsulation we need to remove it quite a lot of product, so normally it takes a little bit longer. I do not feel any vibration when I'm working on my client's hands. Can you? I don't think so. My client feels vibration as well. It's got a wee chip in there, so you have to remove that loose product. And I must admit, this e-file would be powerful enough to carry on the feet. So we use the beads to exfoliate the hard skin, and it would be powerful enough to do it. It shouldn't stop during the filing because, as I say, I do remove quite a lot of product in here. So overall, I'm gonna score this e-file for 9 points, and I tell you why I give it 1 minus, because I know the station can be quite, give more power to it, but I wouldn't be able to hide it in my drawer. So if I would be using it on my nail desk, it will be quite difficult to hide it in my drawer from the dust, which means it has to stand on my nail desk, and that is going to take some extra space. But for the pedicures, it would be a tenner. So it's a really nice, powerful e-file. The handpiece is very light and it's also really pretty as well. So, and the link of the description of this, in the description of this video, guys, I will give you the link to that wee powerful e-file. And of course, we are going to do cuticles with it as well. So my next step is to push back the client's cuticles, push them back, nice, a decent push. And then I'm going to catch up and do exactly the same on the other fingers and come back to you with the cuticle work. That's me back, guys, because actually I'm using my K38 now in comparison. So guys, this is my usual e-file, which I have for many years, but I have pressed a play button because I am working on a full power on that powerful equipment, and to be honest, I actually don't know which one is faster. And I'm gonna give it 10 points to the other one, I think, for that reason. So I will file another. Gosh, I am actually having a dilemma. You know, guys, this is my favorite e-file. Like, you know, it is quite pricey, but it's lasts ages. Like, that's the e-file which I'm having for, gosh, maybe even 13 years now, because times fly. Let me just compare it again to this Melodysusie one, because I could I am nicely surprised, and I think they are pretty similar in comparison when it comes to the power. Even more is maybe my Seiyan K38 is getting old, but there is less vibration on this one. Definitely less vibration on this one. And judge it yourself which one was faster in removing the product, the first 2 nails or the other 2 nails, because as I say, it is very hard for me to judge it. I would probably need to work with this e-file a little bit longer to know like which one is actually better. Now my next step is to do those cuticle work. So we are going to use a wee frustrum bead just to clean up any cuticle which is on the nail plate. So I'm gonna put that e-file on again, speed 17, because I don't know that e-file. So normally for a cuticle work I'm going much slower. One side first, nice and gentle. Put it back into the reverse, and then do the other side. So to put back to the reverse, you just have to press fast the power button twice, and it will change the direction. And I think Olivia is going to be really pretty happy with that e-file as well. I must admit I am quite happy with it too. Now we are going to trim those cuticles, and with this client there is always quite a nice trim, which I like it because I can do a decent work on that client. You know, on some clients, like you cannot really almost touch the cuticles. And on this client, I can work pretty decent, and I can remove pretty decent chunk of the cuticle before applying the product on. And then with the little ball, I'm just always tidy up the things at the end. And we can do a really nice transformation. But not all the skin, not all the hands are suitable for that kind of work. And please keep that in mind, like, you know, sometimes we can do only so much depending on the client. Okay, so we can move on into the next step. So I need to dehydrate the entire nail plate, and we can just reshape them and prepare them for a fresh product application. Like, make sure you remove all those sharp edges as much as possible. And now we are gonna correct the shape of the natural nail. So I'm going with my hand file a little bit underneath, because I want to make sure things are nice and easy. And this movement is really fantastic because it's correcting the shape of the natural nail. Like, things look so much prettier. Now I can blend old product with the natural nail. Remove any remaining glitter particles and move on into the next one. Look how I'm protecting my client nail folds. And there are some parts which I'm working pretty fast, like almost with the closed eyes, and then there are some parts where I'm really slowing down, nice and slow, and try to be as much precise as possible. I like the fact that I can show you also how those enhancements last, like, you know, on the real clients, when they come back after like a month time. You can see it. Yes, we get sometimes an odd breakage or a bit of lifting, but in general they are lasting my clients no trouble, even if they work quite a lot with their hands. And you can also see how the top coat looks after a long time as well. Again, clean up this one and move on into the next one. From underneath. And at this stage, I'm not trying to even perfect the shape. What I'm really doing is like removing any loose particles, removing the glitter, and shortening the nails. Of course, blending the natural nail with the product and giving couple scratches to the nail plate too. After I have done most of this work, I would go and re-inspect the nail plate and search for any more shiny places, like making sure everything is nicely prepped. And then we are gonna take a dust brush, remove all the dust. And guys, I'm also using those table lamp which I got sent by Melodysusie as well, and you can see the difference in the lighting on my desk, probably because I can see it and my clients are noticing it so much as well. Believe or not, Olivia have ordered the same one for her desk as well, because we are nicely surprised. Do you know when it's gonna come? No idea. Yeah, okay, so we're just waiting for the same light to come. And I just done the review. Olivia just came to work, so I done the review of the new e-file. You can test it yourself as well. I think it's actually pretty good. The same powerful as the K38. Then my next step is to apply a nail prep. So nail prep. Wait for it a couple seconds to dry. Oh, I've got some glitter particles. So depending on the design, and for this design, the glitter particles wouldn't show. The glitter particles wouldn't show, but I don't like to do things like halfway. And let's say my clients change their mind, and for the next appointment she would like to have a beautiful French or just a clear nails, and then I've got those encapsulated glitter particles. Okay, so I want to remove this glitter completely, because otherwise it wouldn't show in this time, but it could show next time. And then re-inspected it again. Clear, clear. Clear. Still something there. Okay, all gone. They have been dehydrated 3 times, so I don't have to dehydrate anymore. Universal air bond. And I have almost removed the entire product, so normally I would apply it only on the natural nail and maybe at the free edge, especially when we've got a natural nails. And but because I have removed most of the products, as you can see it, I'm kind of applying it all over. And then on the other hand as well. My universal air bond is right at the end. And then milky pink. And we are gonna build up those nails. So last time we was building the apex like over 2-3 layers. This time because it was so thin with the glitter encapsulation, this time I'm gonna apply much more product straight away because we have removed quite a lot of it. And to be able to do that, I need to do my slip layer, and in this case I'm gonna work slightly different. So I would apply a thin layer all over and cure it at 60 seconds, and then after that I can build up my apex, so it's almost like applying it from the scratch. And with this first layer I am really working through my product, like I'm really pressing hard inside. You want that to attach into the nail plate as well as possible. Going to every edge, every corner. Perfect, change. And then I can build up my apex. So again, I love to work on a slip layer, nice and thin layer. And depending on the temperatures, you would apply on the 1, 2, 3 or 5 fingers. This is my first client in the morning, and I can feel my gel being quite stiff, so I should be able to pull it on all 5. An hour and a half. Pick up a small scoop and we are gonna build up the apex. One side, other side, one side, other side, more to the middle, and I'm not too fussy about these fingers because by the time I will finish the other ones, the gel will be just at the right place. For me, the consistency of the gel is a little bit too thick, so I have to work slower to be able to smooth it out enough. Personally, I prefer working with a little bit thinner consistency. This one feels more like a jelly now, like a stiff jelly. I keep observing the pinky, and depending on the time, I might do it maybe just a 1, maybe 2 more. I can do all 5. I didn't pick up enough product, so I'm just adding more. Change. Oh, no. Change. And then do exactly the same in here. So again, nice and thin layer, and that way, so I have created 2 thin layers around the cuticle area and around the sides, and this is enough. This is plenty to be able to blend it nice. So I don't have to push my product that much to the sides. I need to get sweet point on my client hands. And you can see it, I am not massaging it 100% perfect, and I'm really working just in the middle. So by the time I finish application on all the fingers, the gel is gonna be just in the right spot. Look at the index finger, how the product is changing. It was looking the same like it was looking on the ring finger, and now it's all nice and smooth. You can check the side view, it's smoothing out really nice. Open. And if you learn to think of what your product is gonna do in like 1 second time, 2 seconds time, it will really speed up your work. Because you are not gonna lose the time on the stuff you don't need to. See, I didn't have to push that product to the side, it just ran in there. Perfect, change. Then my right hand is ready for the next step, so close all your products. Also guys, I have used the milky pink, so most of my clients get this milky pink color. It's fantastic, like so much universal for the salon work, and that's the color which I like to apply under the full coverage gel polish. So if I'm going like for a full color, it kind of lifts the colors because it's quite nice and milky. It gives those color boost to the gel polish. Okay, so clean all the inhibition layer as well as possible, and then I show you the shaping. This client is always, I would say, super fast. Like even if I'm doing lots of talking and I'm working so slow with recording, They are really, I would say, easy kind of enhancements. I don't have to be that careful when I'm filing, like, you know, sometimes we cannot almost touch a client, like you have to be so super careful, and with this client I can go quite nice and fast. I'm smoothing out the free edge, and I'm also evening out any imperfections in a product. Nice and straight from both sides. Those filing lines give you like how you should shape the free edge, and then you know that you have to take it more from one or from other side. And then always the most crucial, blending around the cuticle area. We don't want to have any gaps, any jumps in there. Everything has to be nice and flush. Okay, the pinky is far too long. I need to shorten this. And each time when we shorten the nail, we need to thin it out because it becomes much thicker. This one is quite nice. Nice and straight, nice and straight. Once you do those lines, it's almost like indication for you how to shape the free edge. So like straight, straight, doesn't matter what shape you're doing. If it's stiletto nail, if it's coffin shape nail, like those sidewalls here need to be parallel to each other. You don't want like rounded shapes. So what I have noticed quite often, I actually don't have it, but quite often you would see a bulk of the product in here, like, you know, like a rounded shape. That's making the nails looks really fat looking. So nice and straight, nice and straight. That gives you those optically very slim looking nails. Okay, I'm happy with this one. The rest can be done with the buffer. Quite a few moves only, and it's sorted. Straight, straight. I also need to find a sweet happy medium point with my clients. So I like to relax my clients when I'm filing. I like to relax my clients' hands and put them into a client view, my view, so I can find those sweet points. You know, it's a different when I'm doing Olivia's hands. I can just kind of do it on my view only. But then if the people hold like a one separate fingers, they can put it into a wrong direction. So I like to check it in a few different points of view. Now the thumb. And sometimes, like on this nail, I've got quite a lot of filing to do. I have swapped the file to the 100 grit, much faster than 180. And that's why I also like to use those blue files, because they are dual. Like on the one side you've got 180 grit, and on the other side you've got so 180 and 100 grit, which is so versatile. Like to use it on the different aspects when you're doing nail enhancements. Client view, so I will go like this. And I would say that's pretty decent from the client view as well. Now let's grab the buffer. And depending how much buffing I've got, I could either use just a grey buffer, or I would use white buffer and a grey buffer. First of all, right in the middle only, nice and fast. Right in the middle, nice and fast. And you can see it, this nail wasn't filed, like same here. I've got so many bumps up and down. And then with the buffer, just right in the middle, we can really nicely smooth it out. Okay, my next step is to touch up at the free edge. And again, I find that actually doing so with the buffer is perfect. It's kind of almost blends in your free edge and is preventing splitting of the natural nail from the product. And this is also the time when I'm fixing all those kind of ugly places. So you can see it like this is so terrible. And what you want to do it is you want to nicely join it in a kind of side view. So from the front view, it is very easy to cut out and file it wrong. When you're filing on the side view, you can nicely join those places without over filing. Okay, so you can nicely join them in, then check the front view. And I leave that part after the buffing is kind of done, and then smooth out with the buffer. You can even see it, my buffer can go underneath, and I find it that tends to clean the nails underneath as well without of creating scratches and a rough surface. Because if you've got rough surface, like sometimes some nail tech e-file underneath, and then that creates a rough surface, and the natural nails don't look nice. And my goal is to keep the natural nails quite nice and beautiful as well. So nice blend underneath, and then if it's necessary, I can touch up with the file to perfect that free edge. Nice and slow. So some things we do fast because it doesn't matter really, and then some things we do nice and slow. Okay, another one underneath. My entire cuticle area and my entire side isn't touched yet, because that's something you have to do it nice, slow and carefully, and I do it at the later stage. Re-inspect it. Not too bad, this one is ugly. Okay, so small touches. Now my next step is to grab the wee ball, and so I don't want to waste my time and go with this buffer before I do the ball, because sometimes you can create like a wee lines with the ball. So I'm just going to grab those new e-file and see how it is going to behave. Again, put it into pretty nice low speed. We are going to go 18. And see if I would buff this with the gray buffer now, because I'm going and exfoliating the nail folds. I kind of create a little scratches on my product. Even if we don't want to, like, you kind of tend to touch it sometimes, and I like to do the buffer after I finish that step. Nice exfoliation to the nail folds. I'm not doing any pressure, I just let the e-file do the job. And as you can see it is really nice and powerful. Now on this one I've got quite a lot of work to do, so I'm just gonna jump to another nail. Same like when we're removing the product, you don't want to work too long in a one place, because you can produce the heat. And then another one. Go back, because we've got lots of more work to do on this one. And you can feel it underneath of your finger how much smoother it becomes, like, and softer. Again, depending on the client, you would do it less or you would do it more. And on this client, I can do it more. And they are type of the nail folds and types of the cuticles when you actually cannot even sometimes even do those type of manicures. So please judge it, the client's cuticles and client's nail folds, before you start doing so. And I think this is not everyone talks about it, like, you know, and especially when you're starting, you've got a client and you kind of dreaming of those excessive manicure, but you shouldn't be doing it because their hands, their nails aren't suitable for it, and you can actually do more harm than good.
Nie miałaś 60? No, co Karyna mówiła. I mówię, jeszcze ja mam na 10. Ona mówi, ale jestem na tył.
There we are. And then I'm still gonna touch this finger a little bit more. Just a touch more. And now we can go back to the buffer, and with the gray buffer I can nicely smooth out everything and blend everything in here. Okay, this is kind of my way of preparing the things. What else will happen is any loose places will kind of show up, and I will be able to trim it if it's necessary. So doing out those little stages, let me prep the nails nice and beautiful. And another reason, so it's like when I file first of all with the buffer, I can go really fast. It is quite sharp, and because I tend to make it less sharp, is better for later on for this stage when we're working so close to the skin. Okay, so I wouldn't start with my buffer going like here because it might be just too sharp. Always middle first. And same when I'm using the file. You want to go in the middle, kind of safe areas first, so you can work fast and you don't have to worry. And then once you kind of use your file a little bit, you can move on into the more delicate areas and you can slow down. Nicely blended in, so again you don't know where the product is starting. Okay, things starts to look much better. We can just do the final touch up on the cuticle and then they are ready for the painting and for the design. So we have removed quite a lot already, but there are still some bits and pieces which I can take it off. Especially on this nail here. Okay, fantastic. They are all prepped. I'm just going to catch up and do exactly the same on the other hand, and then we can move on into very simple design, like my client wants to go kind of almost plain. So let's clean all that. Okay, nice and natural looking enhancements. And then I come back to you. Okay, they're both ready, and my client wanted like an orangey color. We are gonna go for 199 candy cane, and let's start the simple design for a change. Nice and pretty orange color. Now on this one, I'm gonna do it like a wee window. And so does wee window on this nail. Okay, when I'm painting on the sides, like I tend to shake my brush, this way I can get a cleaner line. And then I'm pushing to the cuticle. And usually in a standard sound service, I do not play like with a small brush. Tiny bit of that color on the paper D-liner brush, and I'm just gonna tidy up those wee window here. I wanted it wavy. You could see I have put the brush to the side to cap those free edge as well. So cap the free edge, that's the moment when I'm capping the free edge. Change. Okay, round 2 of the color. And then I'm gonna straight away grab some French gel when my client is cooking. Okay, time for the design change. So I'm just gonna introduce some gold through it, just a touch of it. And we are gonna do like a wee delicate flowerish, like the client didn't want anything over the top. Thank you. So I'm just gonna clean that. Grab the foil gel. And paint this wee window. Change. Change. Okay, now just transfer it. Straight away I'm gonna put the top coat over the thumbnail. because this will save me a time. Change. Then we are going to use the watercolor brush, and on my piece of paper I've got already this orangey color, which is awesome, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of white through it, plus some separate white because we are going to do a small design on top of it. Change. Gosh, my chair is squeaking. With this watercolor brush, I'm just doing like a wee touches, like bringing in those color. And then the same on the other one. It's so fast, like, to do it. Straight away I shine on the thumbnail. I just need to, that's it. Sometimes I have to lift my chair up because otherwise I cannot see the thumbnails. Tell me guys if you have to do it as well that way. Change. Okay, now we're ready for the next step. So I'm just going to apply top coat all over. And because I want to speed up the time and I need those two nails first, this is a time when I'm swapping the hands. Change. So sometimes those little things can save you lots of time. Change. Now I can take care of the remaining finger here. Change. Change. and finish up the design. So the D-liner brush again, but this time white gel. Warm it up a little bit, and then we are gonna paint it. On top of the top coat. Like a wee flowery design. And what I'm doing is having like a wee blob. And then I paint like a thin line. And you can see it like a splashes of the color turn it out into a nice and pretty design, which is gonna meet in the middle. Same in here. Sorry guys, I have touched the camera with my head. Too much product on my brush. Clean it. Change. I have also made a mess really badly on this finger. I'm gonna show you how I tidy up those kind of things, because you don't let the clients go like this. You know, you almost leave your name on their hands, so. Look also that I can even twist the client hand any direction I need it. Change. Okay, re-inspect this one, finish cooking, and then I show you how to fix that nail. So cure. Perfect, so my right hand is ready, and I always do a final inspection because there are some imperfections, like get rid of that, get rid of brush. And okay, sometimes if it's necessary, I might touch up like the free edge, but you have to do it from underneath. This one isn't necessarily, I might be not, so I'm start cleaning it once the top coat cool down. You always need like a couple seconds for the top coat to cool down, and then I can see it, how they turn it out, if I'm satisfied, or if there are any places which needs touch up. This hand is actually not too bad. I am just not happy with the one corner. So we are gonna take e-file, nice and low speed, like really low speed, and spiky bit. Happy. Now I'm gonna do it exactly same on this hand, especially on this finger, because it is terrible, like so bad. So clean the dust. And I had some top coat run on the nail fold. So I'm just cleaning it off. Sometimes you might be not able to fix it that way. Then you would just rebuff the nail, repaint it, but you wouldn't leave the client like that. And I don't like this one. So this is a step sometimes you don't see me doing in front of the camera, but I always kind of re-inspect the nails and make sure they are as nice as possible after we finish the work. I'm not gonna apply cuticle oil on my client's hand, but I just wanted to show you how they turn it up. So just remove the biggest excess of the dust. And this is how this set turned it out. I hope, guys, you have really enjoyed this video and the review as well. I'm sending you huge glittery hugs and looking forward to seeing you in the next video. I actually really like those delicate design, nice and November perfect nails. Bye!